Don't get blinded by the light from fame. We're all ordinary people at the end of the day. We make decisions, some good, some bad, but we all pushing for things we never had.
Ordinary people with extraordinary ways.
Yeah.
Everyday people trying to make a way.
It's just us.
Ordinary people with extraordinary ways.
Yeah.
Trying to make a difference step by step each day. It's just us.
Hi, I'm Charlene. Welcome to the show. Dozens of biologic medicines that treat conditions such as arthritis, psoriasis, or cancer will soon be coming off patent, and experts predict that there will be a surge in biological treatments. So to tell us what that means and how it impacts you, on today's show we'll talk with Dr. Harry Gewanter. He is a rheumatologist and he's also the chairman of the Alliance for Safe Biologic Medicines. It's just us. I'm Charlene. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Okay, Simon, what do people wear?
Clothes.
That's right. So it's important to learn how to dress yourself. Here's how it's done. Shirt, underwear, pants, socks, shoes. Underwear, always first, name tag on the back. Then pants and shirt. Go ahead and put this on. Now with the shirt, you want to make sure the first button's right or you have to start all over again, okay? Socks left on left, right on right. Tying the shoes, we're going to take the laces, we're going to cross them over, we're going to turn around where the bunny goes down in the hole, pull it tight, and bunny ears. Got it?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain.
And we're back. If you're just joining us, today we'll talk about biosimilar treatments. Dr. Gewanter, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
So what can you tell us about these new breakthroughs?
Well, this is just very, very exciting for all of us who are involved in treating patients where these medicines are used. Biologic medicines are medicines that are made inside living cells, and so they're very complex proteins, and they're designed to be very specific in their actions. And as a result, it's quite complex and expensive to produce them. So a number of these are coming off patent, and for people who have diseases like rheumatoid arthritis or lupus, cancer, multiple sclerosis, and other kinds of chronic or disabling conditions, it means that we're going to be having some more choices and options moving to the future. But part of the issue is because these are really big proteins and they're very complex, sort of comparing them to chemical medicines that you make in a test tube, it's like comparing a house to the Empire State Building in both size and complexity. You can't make an exact duplicate, so you really can't make a generic. You can only make something that's similar, and that's where the name biosimilar comes from. So having these on the market and coming in, we've got now 2 that have been approved by the FDA, and they've got many more coming. This is going to be exciting moving forward.
Yes, so doctor, you mentioned that patents will be expiring soon. So do we expect a surge in biosimilars that will be on the market?
Absolutely. Both because the first round of the originator biologic medicines are going off patent, but I think the other thing to realize too is that the World Health Organization reports that about 40% of their new drug applications are for biologic or biosimilar medicines. So this is going to be a trend moving forward into the future, and that's going to be a good thing because we'll have many more options and hopefully at lower cost for treating these serious and chronic illnesses.
Yes, so you mentioned that there will be lower costs that will be coming along with this treatment.
Yes.
So what are some of the other benefits of biosimilar drugs?
Well, I think one of the first benefits is, again, we're going to have increased access because there's going to be more treatment options. I think, people's copays ideally are going to go down. We don't know how much, but I think on the other hand, we're also have an opportunity to learn from these medicines about treating these really serious conditions. Because if you think about it, any kind of treatment for a person is a unique chemistry experiment between that person and that medication. So we may find that for specific people, for example, that some biosimilars may work better than others, and that should give us some really good information about how we can improve our treatments and minimize the adverse effects at the same time.
Okay, so what regulations are in place?
Well, there's a number of different levels of regulation for provide safety. One's at the FDA level, where they ensure that the molecule is exactly what is supposed to be, and it's manufactured and distributed appropriately. But there's a second level at the states where each state has to come up with its own legislation and regulation about how these are dispensed and distributed. So, and again, this may sound kind of boring and geeky, but having a specific name for each of these medicines, for the biologic and the biosimilars, so all of us knows who's getting what medicine is really, really important. We need to have adequate notification of what medicine is actually dispensed, so that both patients and physicians and pharmacists all know who's getting what medicine, and we can track them. And we obviously need to have a good tracking system to learn about both the good and the not so good about these medicines. Finally, I think the other level is that we need a lot of transparency about the medicines, about their production, about the data underlying them as well. And I think, again, as we talk about costs, there's also the payment side that we need to be able to distinguish, which medicine is being given and how much the cost is for that medicine, so that we don't inhibit any innovation by having everybody getting paid the same amount, even though it may cost less to make one medicine versus another. So we need lots of information, a lot of transparency, and again, a lot of communication to use these medicines safely and make sure that the appropriate people get them, and as many people as possible.
So going back to cost for just a moment, are we talking a few dollars here?
Well, you have to understand that, again, for some of the rheumatoid arthritis medicines, you're talking, $15,000 or so a year in costs to start with. And so, I don't think, nobody thinks we're going to get, huge savings like we've gotten with the chemical generics, just because it's so hard to make these things. But again, 10 or 15% savings in a $15,000 product is not petty cash. So it's good for both the system and the person receiving the medicine.
So 10 to 15% is a decent savings when you're talking thousands of dollars.
Yes, it is. And hopefully it's going to continue, as we get more biosimilars on the market, that's going to just improve even further.
Yes. So, doctor, where can we find more information?
Absolutely. You can go to our website at safebiologics, as one word, .org, or if you go to the FDA website at fda.gov. There's a wealth of information on both sites, and it's all validated, and that they can, and folks can learn more about these medicines at those places, and also they'll take you other sites that can be helpful.
Thank you so much for giving that information, doctor. I'm really excited about this because it can benefit so many people who are in need of this treatment.
Well, I'm very excited. I'm old enough that I started treating kids with arthritis before we had anything that really worked, and biologic medicines have it's been just a miracle. I've got kids now that can run, that they came in, they could barely walk, and I've got them running up and down my halls, and people don't know they've got arthritis, and that's a nice problem. So having more options is really, really good.
Wow, I'm sure that really touches you.
You bet.
Well, Dr. Gewanter, I want to thank you again so much for your time and for your work.
Thank you.
And I want to thank you for joining us as well. If you'd like more information about It's Just Us, please visit our website at itsjustustalkshow.com. All of our links are there to connect with us on social media, as well as emailing us if you have show guest considerations or show ideas. Until next time, I'm Charlene Bowden, and I hope that you will continue to happen to life. Take good care.